little story time here. And I just wanted everybody to know the toughness of Joel Klatt. So my favorite story of Joel is we're in between 03 and 04, all right? And it's right before Gary got suspended, and Gary walks by the defense and just he used to do this like maybe once a year, maybe. And he'd go, okay, quarterback's alive. And all of us are like, whoa, quarterback's alive, holy shit. And I'm like, okay, I'm turning this up. And I beat the guard inside, and I run through Joel's chest pretty hard, and I get a good lick on him. And I hit him pretty hard. And, you know, he's my boy, and I love him, but I'm trying to kill him at the same time. And he pops up, and he's like, man, that wasn't shit. You can get hit like a bitch, and just runs right back to the line of scrimmage. And I'm like, that's my guy right there. That's one tough son of a bitch. So, like, when you have to understand what Joel Klatt is, every time he gets hit, he gets back up. And that's really it was so inspiring as a teammate of his, as a fellow captain, to watch, you know, him go through getting smashed and then running off the sideline and be like, it's all good, we got him next. And the leadership that you feel, it's just like Joel was just saying about the coaches. You have to feel the presence on the field, where you feel your leaders. And it's not a surprise that you're in the position you are now, brother. But I just wanted to, you know, I love that story. And
man, I hate that story. That hurt so bad. I wasn't going to let you know that, though. Man, I was hurting. I think you knocked the wind out of me a little bit. So, like, whatever I said was all I could muster. But there was no way I was going to let you think for one split second that you had, like, got me. It just wasn't that wasn't an option. It was no option. I do have a quick, like, backstory to that story.
Please.
And this is what you didn't know, okay, is that I was not as talented, just a pure quarterback, as the other quarterbacks that we had. When they would just throw the ball or one-on-ones or 7-on-7, it usually looked a little better than me. Because I was just a bit of a try hard. I knew the schematics really well. I felt like the ball was always in the right place. You know, like, I was kind of a system guy, and I was going to orchestrate and run the offense. And I needed a rush because I was good at pocket manipulation, and I didn't care if I got hit. So I wasn't going to be scared about contact. So what you don't realize, Matt, is that I would go to Gary.
You told him?
I would go to him when I felt like the other quarterbacks were getting too confident. And I would say, like, hey, will you please make us live today? And he would say like, absolutely not. And I remember I shut his door, and I was like, no. I was like, I'm not asking. I need this. I was like, I need to be live today.
I need to get hit in the face.
Well, and it's not even that I didn't want to get hit in the face. I just knew that was my differentiator, right? So, like, if you're going to compete, I couldn't wait until the game, because it's like, that's when I was best. It was a game. Give me a play clock. You know, hey, play callers, go to the sidelines. Give me a play clock. Let me change the play. Let me run the offense. Let me talk in the huddle. And let's play football. So I would go to him every time that we were live, you know, and he always was like, I made it, you know, quarterbacks are live.
Quarterbacks are live.
I would go to him, and I would be like, hey, I need to be live today. And he would always say no. He was like, Joel, he was like, how would that make, he was like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to, you know, like, people are going to, if you get hurt, I would be like, I'm not going to get hurt. I was like, just relax. I just got to be live today. And then he would walk around and he'd be like, quarterbacks are live. And you guys would all be like, woo!
Christmas, bro. Because he would never tell us. So he'd just walk by us, and he'd look right at me and go, quarterbacks are live. And I'm like, yes. Yep. I'm going after his ass.
That's right.
Think about, like, the difference between 03 and 04, when we couldn't really run the ball with Calhoun in 03. But then in 04, I thought our O-line was probably not as good, but a better unit. Yeah. And we could run the ball with Bobby and Vic. Like, it's how much did that help you as a quarterback?
Oh, bro, you don't have to tell me. 03 was hard. It was hard.
And that was a loaded team. I thought the 03 team was way more talented than the 04 team, but the 04 team was more of a unit. I think it might have been because of the scandal or whatever, but we really came together in 04. Remember when BG Brooks picked us to go 0-12? And we were in the locker room like, man, fuck this guy. I can't believe he picked us to go 0-12. Like, come on.
You got a better memory than me. Granted, I got hit in the head a lot. I don't remember him picking us to go 0-12. I do remember that being a really close team in 04.
It was.
I remember it was a more frustrating offense to be the quarterback of in 2004 than in 03, because in 03 we had like some real legitimate threats on the outside.
McCoy, Donahoe. We had dudes.
Bloom was on that team.
Yep, Bloom.
So we could throw it. We were in the wrong defensive structure. Like I've always said, if you could put the 04 defense on the 03 offense, like we might have had something. Yeah, we would
have won 10 games.
Yeah, I think so too. We should have won 10 in 04.
We should have. With that Missouri loss and the A&M overtime loss. The A&M overtime loss still, I like have flashbacks of being in the muddle, and I'm like, Hankowitz, put Ewu on spy on McKee, please. And he was like, do your job. And I was like, fine, fuck it.
No, it wasn't. I mean, unfortunately for Bobby Purify fumbled. And I think it was maybe the only mistake Bobby ever made in his career. He was the most reliable teammate we might have had.
Ever.
Oh, man, we're in the weeds now talking about the loss.
Sure, and it's awesome because everybody in the comments is like, oh, they're taking us back to 04.
Oh, man.
All right, so look.
They kicked a field goal. You guys held them to a field goal in overtime.
Yep, and then
we had the ball second, and I remember getting in the huddle, and like there was zero question that we were going to score like 100 times out of 100.
You were chopping up.
When that ball hit the ground, I've never been as sick after like just in the moment on the field as that one. Oh.
Yeah, it still hurts me because we had them the whole game. We just beat the shit out of them the whole game. And they came back on us, and then at the end, it rips away from you. But look, that's the beauty of this sport. That's why we love it so much. Just because you have to deal with the pain. You have to deal with the victories. You got to be able to go the next week and say, at one point in that 04 season, we were 3-0, and then all of a sudden we were 4-4. And we're looking at ourselves.
Is that what we were?
Yeah, we started a conference 1-4. And then remember we had to beat Kansas on the road, we had to beat K-State at home and Nebraska on the road, and then we needed Iowa State to beat Missouri. And they played the day after.
Remember all this stuff.
Because this is what I do, dog. And then the day after, Missouri and Iowa State played, so after we beat Nebraska and Lincoln. So we won those 3 games, and then we came home, and I remember sitting on the sofa with Sam and Sam and Gardner, and watching Iowa State beat Missouri on a field goal and calling Coach Wilson back, we're in the Big 12 title. And then I put my phone down and I was like, fuck, we're in the Big 12 title. Oklahoma's pretty good.
Yeah, they were so good.
God, they beat the shit out of us that year, but neither here nor there.